and dove into it I did. In the summer of 2012, I embarked on the journey of a lifetime. I knew India would change my life, even though I wasn't sure how. I entered into it with a clear heart and an open mind, ready for the challenge, a little nervous, but mostly excited for the adventure. On my first day in India, I visited Akshardham, a Hindu temple that is less than 10 years old, but the largest and most grandiose. Spirituality is everywhere here, from the temples to the holy men or sadhus who wander about, to the idols that decorate every vehicle, home, and building. Even the religion I grew up with, the Baha'i faith, has a temple in India, the Lotus Temple. Before entering temples, one must always remove his or her shoes, and in some places wash the hands and feet. At Sikh temples, called gurdwaras, all visitors must cover their heads and touch the ground with their hands upon entering. You might recognize a Sikh person by their turban, worn to cover their hair, that is strictly forbidden to cut. All people are equal in the Sikh faith, and all are welcome to their temples. They have an optimistic view of life that emphasizes the concept of sharing, as seen in the custom of langar, the offering of free food at the gurdwaras. On the day I visited, they were celebrating one of the 10 gurus, or enlightened leaders' birthday. Jantar Mantar, which translates from Hindi to abracadabra, was built in 1725 and contains giant astronomy and astrology instruments. New Delhi is India's capital city, home to 12.8 million people. One of Delhi's landmarks is the India Gate, a monument that commemorates the Indian soldiers who lost their lives in World War I and the Third Afghan War, wars fought by the British Indian Army. It is also known as the India Army's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, or Amar Jawan Jyoti, the Flame of the Immortal Soldier. Qutub Minar dates back to the onset of the Islamic rule in India, around 1000 AD. One iron pillar has been there for over 2,000 years and has baffled scientists, for it has never rested. Rajghat marks the spot where Mahatma Gandhi was cremated following his assassination in 1948. Gandhi is the Indian leader known for his nonviolent approach that helped gain the country's independence from Britain. Hinduism is the most popular religion in India. About 80% of Indians are Hindu, followed by 13.4% who are Muslim, 2.3% Christian, 2% Sikh, 0.8% Buddhist, and 0.4% Jain. With over 1 billion people in India, that's a lot of Hindus. Unlike other major religions, Hinduism does not have a founder, nor is there a religious head or book that lays down the rules. The basis of Hinduism rests in recognizing the Brahman, or cosmic power, the supreme soul of the universe. There are many symbols and stories in Hinduism which permeate the entire country's culture. Humayun's tomb was built in the mid-16th century by Haji Begum, the Persian-born wife of the second Mughal emperor Humayun. Built entirely of local red sandstone and white marble, the design helped inspire the Taj Mahal. The Obamas were taken The next best thing to shopping in India was eating in India. The smells and flavors were as intense as the atmosphere. Indian money is called rupees, and you get about 55 of them per US dollar. They use the metric system in India and drive on the left side of the road, steering wheel on the right. Public transportation, buses, trains, and rickshaws, is the primary mode of transportation for most of the population, with only 103 million cars on the nation's roads. The auto rickshaw, also called a tuk-tuk, is a popular mode of public transportation in India's cities. Riding in a rickshaw gets you an up-close and personal experience of the chaos found on Indian roads. I have to admit, they can also be a lot of fun.
जिनके सर चल छैया 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 चल छैया 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 छैया.
A 10.5-hour journey from Delhi brought me to the small village of Khajuraho in central India, where I visited the famous temples built from 950 to 1050 AD. The carvings are a storyboard of life a millennium ago, with gods, goddesses, warriors, musicians, and real and mythological animals. My next train journey took me to the historic village of Orcha, on the banks of the Betwa River. Orcha was the capital of the Bundela Rajas, one of the royal families, from the 16th century to 1783. These cenotaphs, empty tombs or memorials, were built for Orcha's rulers. would you like to go to school in Orcha? Here is a classroom with the Hindu goddess Sarasvati, the goddess of knowledge and wisdom, painted on the wall.
वो यार है जो खुशबू की तरह, वो जिसकी जुबां उर्दू की तरह, मेरी शाम रात मेरी कायनात, वो यार मेरा सैया सैया, चल छैया 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 छैया, चल 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 छैया 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 छैया, छैया 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 छैया, चल छैया 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 छैया.
The Taj Mahal, described by Rudyard Kipling as the embodiment of all things pure, is widely considered the most beautiful building in the world. I agree. 20,000 people from India worked on the building, made of white marble and thousands of semi-precious stones. The Taj was built by Shah Jahan as a memorial to his third wife, Mumtaz Mahal, who died giving birth to their 14th child in 1631. He was so heartbroken, his hair is said to have turned gray overnight. The construction of the Taj Mahal took 22 years to complete. Not long after it was finished, Shah Jahan was overthrown by his son and imprisoned in Agra Fort, where he could only gaze out at his creation from a window. Following his death in 1666, Shah Jahan was buried here alongside Mumtaz. He was supposed to have a Taj built for him out of black marble, but it was never built. Pushkar was one of my favorite places in India. The town curls around a holy lake and is said to have appeared when the god Brahma dropped a lotus flower. The city has a charm all of its own. Considered a holy city, meat and alcohol are forbidden. Cows roam everywhere, and camels wait patiently to carry their next passengers. Pushkar is in the state of Rajasthan, the land of kings, with deserts and jungles, tigers and cobra snakes, jewels and vibrant colors. Jaipur is the capital city of Rajasthan. The royal family still lives in City Palace, located in the Old City, also known as Pink City, traditionally the color of hospitality. "11 kilometers outside of town, on a rocky mountainside, stands Amer Fort, built in 1592 by the warrior clan known as the Rajputs, who ruled India for 800 years. One of my favorite Bollywood films, Jodha Akbar, was filmed here. I can't forget to include my trip to the Himalayas. Dharamsala is the home of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the exiled Tibetan government. Here I participated in a 10-day silent retreat, meditating and learning about Tibetan Buddhism, alongside monks, nuns, and about 50 other students from over 30 different countries. It was one of the most worthwhile, yet most difficult things I have ever done. I am most grateful for the friendships I made, the people who taught me, and the kindness that was shown. Not only did this journey deepen my perspective of the world, but I became a much wiser person. It is hard for me to put into words exactly what I learned. The Nobel Prize-winning Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore says it best. The highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but makes our life in harmony with all existence.